Hello, Kent Kruger here, Biological Channel, which I think I'm going to change the name of the channel to, they allow me 90 days, to the Book of Kent, because I want to focus on aliens, extraterrestrial, biblical relevancies. Yeah, that's said that right, relevant, etc. But I want to start this program once again by saying, why do you need glasses when you have a bottle? Shabbat Shalom. It's Friday, February 22nd. This probably will not come up on your scroll or to subscribers. I lost another subscriber. That's funny. I've now lost about 15 subscribers because they want me to talk about what they want me to talk about, what they want me to talk about. It ain't happened. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. You didn't want to learn cannabinoid chemistry, etc.? Screw you. Those 6 or 8 people went away. Dumbass hippies. I want to go in this direction for quite a while because I can tell just from the people that I either excite by debating them on YouTube, on movies, videos. Staying away from trending news lately because trending news is full of the worst trolls there is. And no, chat line freakers, this is not those $12 carton cigarettes that you were talking about a little while ago. Now it's about 4 p.m. They said the sun, and I believe in the sun, will probably break through this overcast right as the sun hits the horizon. It'll shoot under around 5:40 to dark. There will be brilliant sunlight, but I couldn't wait. When I started to go to town this morning, stuff like that, it was misty, drippy, rainy, it's cloudy. I'm going to actually take this off now so you can see my skull cap. It's a little chilly because the temperature's actually been dropping since a little past noon. It went down from 54 down to about, actually 56 here, 54 in town. It's down to about 52 degrees. There's a slight north wind. But what I want to talk about is, because in this episode, is that recently, in the last few months, because, just like what Paul Simon said, it's amazing I can think it all after all the crap I learned in high school. And even though I went to the best high school in California, which is associated with Stanford, they were still a bunch of cultural Marxists who didn't know shit. But I understand. They're teachers. They're not researchers. They're teaching what they've been told to teach, which is like that old Afrocentric and what little they knew at that time. And since that time, which was a long time ago, please bear in mind that I technically graduated high school in 1971, hung around for an extra year. And I want to try to focus on, the Into Africa theory, which, by the way, the Australian newspaper shot me down, blocked me years ago. And now that I've been doing some research, I find out that Bruce Fenton deserved getting shot down because he didn't know certain things. And plus, I've watched several videos. There's one video, Bruce Fenton, one of the leaders of the Into Africa theory people. Actually, there's some idiots that think that white people came out of Australia, went into the separating Pangea, and eventually devolved into blacks. They're all crazy. They can't. But Bruce Fenton, dude, I saw that video the other day where you were doing with a bad speakerphone. you're doing another like radio interview with like the 400-pound guy and his gay friend on some kind of radio or simul. And Bruce Fenton, you hung a bedspread behind you on the wall to cover up the fact that you're probably living in a shack in the outback. And right there behind you was a rip in the big giant yarns or whatever that can't call them threads. It's right behind you. You can tell that this is an ancient, bed cover that's ugly as crap and was damaged. So, Bruce Fenton, I knew I did the right thing, almost 5 years ago, and got myself knocked off of most of Australian social media because so many people love you because of their, it's okay to be a white supremacist as long as you have facts. And that's why I'm here right now, to tell you facts and to also tell you that while we whites were the true first humans on this planet, science proves it, starting with the Russians and southeastern Europe, etc., destroying the entire, look, they had a lot of anthropologists, and paleontologists had a lot of success in Africa because of the Kenyan Great Rift, because it was one of the most eroded places on this earth outside of the Grand Canyon. It was easy to find fossils there, okay? And actually, before that, the British anthropologists had it right, that blacks devolved from whites. That's now being reproven again. And I want to go beyond that in this, and I only have less than 8 minutes to make some critical points. And I want to point out right off the bat that in no way, by the way, Shabbat Shalom, it's been dark in Israel for hours, sunset in Israel three and a half hours ago. And so therefore I invoke my right to, and actually the law that requires me to consume an overflowing cup. Look, let me start kind of slow with some of you people here, because you're low IQ, you have small brains, and you've watched too many YouTube videos that give you the illusion that you're somehow educated or intelligent, when in fact your standard daily vocabulary is only about 4,000 or 5,000 words. One of the things that I object to the most, I can tell I may try to upload the whole thing tonight. They let me sometimes, as long as I stay at least 1 second under 30 minutes. There's all these YouTube videos that says that this right here, I don't know if you can see it, thumb to last finger, and you can't see it, or the tendon jumps out. They say that's old monkey traits. That's bullshit. Now I know that when my ancestors came here, the sons of God came here and saw that the daughters of men were beautiful and mated with them. You see, even my God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov, Israel, he admits that there are other gods, but they're still his children. They're still his creation. And that's what this is all about. Is what I'm saying doesn't contradict science. It doesn't contradict the Bible. This is what I've learned over a very long life. I'm creeping up on 65. It's not too much longer. You young people, you don't know shit. Also, if you can see it, okay, they were talking about how, like, modern man can't move their ears. Can you see this here? actually the earphones are, I can move my ears almost 2 centimeters. I don't know if the camera picked that up. The earphones are actually dragging my ears down, and the cold is tightening up my tissue. It's not a warm day, and which is unusual for February 22nd in Texas. It's normally 80 degrees today. Got all kind of wildflowers all around it, just beautiful. I love this place. This is my home. This is where I will die. Unless you bring a bunch of armed men out here and drag me off and throw me in a hole and make me die there, I will die here under my terms and under my style. But between, like, say, that tendon and the movement, I've delighted so many children. I can remember, like, little Patrick, Matthew's first and only son, I think only son. He said when he began to speak, he goes, "You can move your ears without touching them." And I just kept doing, And actually, I give people these non-visual cues all the time. When they piss me off, let me try to show you. When people piss me off, I do this. I pin my ears back. Can you see on the horizon here? And people, without actually seeing it, intuitively know that I'm about ready to bite their head off, knock their ass out, or kill them. In Texas, we call it laying back the ears because wolves do this, etc. But the other point I want to get to here, which I think I can get to this first section in 15 minutes and break it up into 2, and maybe later tonight, I'll get the urge to drag out my old drawings about the liquid ships and start talking more about, because I really want to focus on something I've had to keep my mouth shut about my entire adult scientific life and academic life, which is not talk. You can't talk about extraterrestrials without being, getting humiliated, because, those people who haven't actually experienced it, as I told you before in a previous video, when some moron tells me about they was taken up by some spaceship, anally probed, etc., I don't believe them. These ETs, obviously our cousins, have never done me any harm. All they've ever done is teach me. The point I want to make before I get through here, and I have less than 2 minutes to sum up. I'm going to stop this at 15 minutes, so it'll upload fairly quickly on a Friday night when sometimes the uploads go 6, 8, 10, 12 hours. Lately, I've been doing a lot of review of anthropology and stuff like that, and sometimes they won't let me 3D rotate the skulls so I can count the teeth, and they won't give me enough data. But I've known for 45 years that I am not like you in almost any way. My skull is bigger. I have 28 teeth, not 32 or 40 like Andre the Giant, who suffered from the mutation of gigantism and stuff like that. My maxilla and mandible, the bone for the teeth, ends exactly at 28 teeth. Many of you, almost all of you, have 32 teeth. That's the modern, devolved humans whose brains have been getting smaller. And I was taught in a college and proven in anthropology lab 45 years ago. And in my lifetime alone, you've lost another 200 cc's of cranial capacity, not me. My kind have always been very few, a fraction of the total human count. I'm going to stop this right now so I can upload it and start to know number 2.